Hey everyone, welcome to my channel ASP.NET Core, and today I'm going to introduce my membership program. And in this membership program, I will provide you lots of stuff like ASP.NET Core from a beginning to professional videos. And it's not only a simple video tutorial; it's based on the project. So you can purchase it in 800 rupees for the Indian users, and rest countries you can buy from $15. Okay, and you can use PayPal account for buy this membership. And when you if you want to get this membership, you just fill that Google form that is available in video description box. The link is actually available in video description box, so must to check your video description box and fill the form. After the filling the form, I will contact you via the mail. Okay, so in this membership, I will provide you complete video tutorial of about a .NET Core, that is beginning to professional video tutorials. And the next one, I will provide you RESTful API and the Blazor course. Okay, so it's not only a simple tutorial, it's project based tutorial. So I will provide you lots of projects. So Blazor video tutorial, RESTful API tutorials. Then after, I will provide you Angular tutorials. I meant to say the fundamentals to the professional video tutorials. And then after, I will provide you React tutorials. And in .NET Core, I will use Entity Framework Core and the SQL Server. And .NET Core, we just use, uh, Entity Framework Core model first approach. Okay, and the MS SQL Server. And then after, I will provide you C# basic course, and then next I will provide you DSA based course, that is the data structure and algorithm. So it's not only these courses, I will provide you lots of courses and video tutorials plus complete source code. Okay, so you know that guys, if you want to get this membership, you just fill this form. So if you want to get the full stack development course, just fill this form, and this form link is actually available in this video description box. So just put it your name, your email ID, your contact number, transaction reference ID or order ID or PayPal ID. You can just add it here, and that is course fee. That is 800 rupees for Indian user and $15 for the other country user. So you can use this QR code, and also you can use for other country, then you can use this QR code for the PayPal user, and just click to the submit button. And after, I will inform you via mail. So please check your spam box as well. Okay, of your mail. Please check your spam box and inbox. Okay, so after that, I'm going to share you the course curriculum. So I will share you a course curriculum about ASP.NET Core. So this is from basics to advanced, and here we have relationships, validation, session, reusable component, themes, page utility, generic repository, unit of work, identity, data seeding, real-time projects, prototypes, and the project analysis phase of the project analysis, filter, middlewares. Okay, and that is my web API, and you can say that it's a RESTful API. So what is WCF, and the rest? Create ASP.NET Core Web API projects, attribute routing, test API, Swagger, Postman, default parameter binding, and all. These all are the Web API topics and the RESTful API topics. And these all are the Angular topics. So everything is included here. Dynamic routing ID, lifecycle events, HTTP client module, JSON placeholder, ng container, ng content, design course, algorithm, authorization guard features, and API projects for JWT authentication, view shield, and HTTP interceptors, material component, paging, searching, sorting, and everything. Now the next one is the C# courses, and everything is completed. C# courses, data structure courses, okay, and the SignalR courses, and that is my Bootstrap course, microservices and JavaScript, and Microsoft Blazor course, that is Microsoft Blazor course, React course also included in this, MS SQL Server complete guide, and object OpenCV Sharp, ImagueCV, and OCR. That is it's based on the digital platforms, and like image processing, image load, convert to grayscales, displaying image, and everything. Okay, so that is not enough. I will continue with my work, and I will share you weekdays videos to you, okay, in your mail. So everything is in only 800 rupees for the Indian users. So please fill this form if you see this video, and just uh, see the video description box, and where you will find a Google form link, and just fill the form and get the membership. Okay, so let's get started with the five. Hey, let's get started with the new video of shopping cart project, and with the specification pattern, So if you want to design a project with the help of the specification pattern, you need to add a generic repository first. So I just created a generic repository first before uh, going to specification pattern. So what about the generic repository? Generic repository contains some common functions which is related to all entities, and that is like task of T. T is a type of base entity, and what is the base entity? Is a class, you can say. So this is my base entity, and is actually each entity actually inherited by the base entity class. Okay, and here we have a product is a type of type, brand, and available quantities are there, and the picture, URL, and price and descriptions. So iGeneric repository is here, and iGeneric repository of type T is inherited by the used the T, and T is a base entity. So T is here, that is the base entity, or you can say that any class. So you can use get by ID async, and in it you can just assign it integer ID. And the next one is the task I read only list of type T, list all async. Okay, just return I read only list. The next one is the task of type T, and that is uh, it's a return list all async. And the next one is you know uh, void add void add of type T entity, and void update T entity, and void delete is a T entity. So that is my iGeneric repository. So first of all, I want to implement this generic repository under the infrastructure layer, where we have a data tab. So just right click on it and add a new empty file, and the name is generic repository. Generic repository. Generic repository.cs file. And generic repository actually it's a type of T, and inherited by the iGeneric repository of type T, and where T is a class, or you can say base entity. Now I want to implement all the functions of iGeneric repository. So here you can see that here we have a add, delete, and get by ID, list all async method, and update async method. So now I want to use it here, that is the context. Now cart context is here, so just use private read only, and here we have a cart context underscore context. Now use the cart context under your constructor to initialize your cart context first. So generate a constructor. Now if you want to add entity, so you can just simply use context dot set of T, where to add entities. Now if you want to delete the entities, so you can just use delete entities. So just remove the entities. Get by entity, get by ID async with the help of ID. So you can just use return context dot set of T dot find async dot as ask. What do you mean by that? As ask is not okay. So you can use it here async and await here, so that you can remove the problems. And the next of this is you can use async here and just return it await context dot set of t dot toolist async. Toolist async is actually existing in Microsoft Entity Framework 4. So you can use control dot key of your keyboard and resolve the uh, red squiggly lines, or you can say error. Now the next one is to attach entity first and then after modify the entity. So you can use context dot set of t uh, dot attach the entity first, then after you can change the state of the entity that is modified. So here we have the generic repository. Now the problem of the generic repository is if you want to consider it here, that is the product. Now consider it T is a product, and you want to apply any other filter, like if you want to get all the products which is similar to the brands. So how to apply uh, on the T object, because T is not an especially product specific for the product. It's a entity and that is type of base entity. So it's not a specific for the product. So how to actually apply the filter on the basis of the T? So that's why we use specification pattern. Okay. So why we use a specification pattern here? Now, if you want to get, that product by ID property, that only, so you know that here we have a product by ID, but I want to include the product as well. So we all know that, just I want to give an example of this one. Suppose we have a product, so context dot products, so that one, and include the product brand and the product type, but right now P is not actually related to the specific type, you know. So that's why we know that that is the product brand and that is the product type, that is not actually included in the specific template. So that's why we use here, so just removed it here from this and we use specification pattern here. Now we use in the core part, add a specifications directory and add a specifications. Okay, so under the specification, just I create a generic specification. That specification actually match for all the entities. So just use I specification first. I specification.cs file. So we all know that here we have interface I that is I specification and I specification of type T, and we all know that T is a class. And here I'm going to first of all expression of the function type T and the Boolean type, and that is the criteria. So what is actually doing this is actually we all know that product repository is actually contain uh, P tends to that is my expression example context dot products dot where. So it's a query where, and P is the that one is my expression here, that is my expression. And here we have a T is the input type and the output type is a Boolean. So the condition is either true or the false. So that is the complete thing is the criteria. That is the complete thing is the criteria. So that is the whole expression, you can consider it here. The next one is to add includes. Okay, so list of expression of type function type T, and it's not actually written the Boolean type, it's actually written the object type. So just use object here, And why we use object here? Because we all know that, wait. Okay, so we all know that here we have a includes. First, to change the name, includes. So here we have a includes, and now the example of the include is that one is the include. So you know that context dot products dot where is that is the complete thing, is the criteria. But right now, just after that, we can use include, and include is the P is, you know, that is the type T. But right now, that include is actually written a list of the things. Okay, and that is actually written a Boolean type, but that is actually written anything. It's actually written a string, is actually written object, and the list of the object. So we can consider it here that is object. Okay, and the similar thing we can do with the order by and the order by descending. So just return it, the list of expression here. And the next one is to expression of type function T with the object order by, and the next one is expression of order by descending, and the next one is to integer take and skip, and then last one is paginated enabled. That GitHub Copilot is automatically sensible. These are the specification, that is the common specification, and each things actually included into your project. So these are the specification, and these are the basic specifications you need to include into your project. So that is my specification pattern, and I want to implement it, that specification I want to implement it in the base specification class. So you can use it here, that is your base specification class. Okay, now just I want to use base specification here. So just it, that is base specification, that is base specification.cs file, and here we have a base specification of type T. It's inherited by the I specification of type T. Okay, and I specification we have, you know, some properties, implement interface. Now just create a base specification class constructor and initialize the constructor by using the criteria. So here we have a base specification, and inside it you can take the criteria. Okay, and that criteria is actually used here. So you know, just not implemented, so use get. Okay, so we all know that we received here expression, and that expression initialize the criteria, and that is criteria. Okay, now we use criteria in later in the evaluator class, but right now the criteria is initialized by the entity. Okay, now the next one is include, and include is actually a list, we all know that. So that we just add a includes here. Include is set default with the empty list first, so get and initialize it here with the new list of expression of type boolean. Okay, so that's the thing, you can use it here. So each and every you know, actually that include actually fill by the specification class. Base specification class only responsible to fill the includes. Okay, and the similar thing we can do with the order by. So you can use it here, only get here instead of private with the private set. So you can use private set here. The same thing you can do with the order by descending. So you can use it here, get and private set. Now here we have three things, that is take, skip, and is paginated available. So that thing is actually doing in the later videos. So see you in the next video.